We'll be live. Good. We are live right now. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
How many, how many people
In
do we
this
have?
in this very simple live,
Okay. Okay.
nobody yet, but I think actually we have 8 people online right now. How many can you see over there?
Okay, I can see eight. I can see
All
eight
right.
persons live.
Yeah. Currently, is people are still joining right now. Okay. So in this particular live video, myself and Sabright will be talking about how you can recover from these Google hits. In fact, as a matter of fact, let me share my screen right now with you guys. This is a client website that was drastically hit. Okay, so this site was, please, if it is not clear from your own end, kindly go and watch from YouTube. Okay, follow the link that was shared by Sabright on his profile, and then you watch on YouTube. And I think it's actually much more better on YouTube because you can watch up to 1000, I mean 1080p basically, and the quality is far, far better. All right. So this is an example of a website that was hit by an update. As you can clearly see, everything got to zero because it was completely annihilated. In fact, this is exactly what happened when you've been hit by an update. You basically lose literally everything. So it plummeted right from absolutely nothing to zero. So now in this particular live video, what myself and Sabright will be doing is, what can you do if stuff like this actually happened to you? Okay, so we're actually going to show you guys how to know you've been hit by an update and how you can get back your traffic to spike back up, just like this screenshot I'm actually going to show to you guys right now. This particular site was also hit the same way, but after doing some certain changes, this was exactly what happened. It went right to the moon. Okay, so that's exactly what we'll be doing right now. So if you can, if you can hear me very clearly and you see exactly what we are saying right now, indicate in the comment section so we can know that you guys can see. All right. So just let me know if you guys can see us very clearly and hear what you're saying. All right, because we're about to get started. All right, Sabright.
Yeah.
Let's hear what you actually have to say.
All right. Okay. Good evening to everybody. I believe everyone can hear me. All right. Great. Okay. So quickly, we want to talk about if your website is hit, here is how to recover. Okay. This is going to be the topic we are going to anchor on right now, and the key points I'm going to be covering will be what is Google penalty really about, how to know that your blog has been hit by Google update, how to recover from Google penalty, expected time frame to recover from Google penalty, practical guide on how to disavow toxic links from your blog site. Then there will be, time for you guys to ask questions. We'll entertain questions from every one of you as we, cover this subject. Just like my colleague has said, that particular client's website was really affected by, the algorithm update. And usually, Google releases updates. For those of you that, don't have any idea about what algorithm update means, um, algorithm update is basically Google penalty. Okay, penalty like a punishment that Google delivers to sites that fail to comply with webmaster quality guidelines. These penalties are designed to stop black hat SEO tactics and other online rule breakers, basically. So Google occasionally releases updates that enrich their search algorithm. So far, these are the updates that they've released this year. If you visit Google Search Central, these are the updates they've released this year. Okay, I think the most recent one, or the one is the one they released on the 14th of December. Link spam update. Okay, so this particular website, the client website, just as you've seen on the. Okay, let me click on this so that you can see the impression. All right, performance. All right, perfect. So just as you've seen, this website was affected by the Google spam update. This update this was on the 19th of October, yeah, 19th of October. So if we go to Google Search Central website on the 19th of October, Google released, this update is global and affects all language. The rollout was complete on October 21st. So Google released the spam update on the 22nd of October that really affected a lot of websites. And in this live video, in this live masterclass, we are going to, cover most of those things to do on your website to avoid being hit by Google updates like this. Just as you've seen, this website, went to zero, and there are a couple of reasons that amounted to this, and we are going to uncover those things for every one of you that is on this live to get to see them as well. So okay, most times, of course, when it comes to Google update, it happens to in a lot of websites. Google eats most websites, even when you don't even when you comply with their policies. Your website might be affected. It might just be a mistake from the algorithm, which corrects itself after some time. All right. If your website was negatively, some reasons might be that maybe you've complied to their policies, you've published the right content, you've been focused on your niche, you are not engaged on any shady link building activities and all of that. And for some reasons, your website just, leave, or you start losing keywords and all of that. It happens, but it doesn't clearly mean that you are it. So we are going to cover a lot of things on this masterclass. So there are basically about two Google penalties. Okay, there are two types of Google penalties: the manual penalty and the algorithmic. So the manual penalty, these penalties are given by Google employees from the search quality or web spam team. From the search quality or web spam team, they review your website and after consideration decide to manually take action against your business site. Okay, usually this kind of penalty is based on, just as the name implies, manual review. So a staff from the web spam team or probably the Google search quality team will examine your website. Probably if you were engaged on, shady link building techniques like PBN, this popular link building technique, PBN, that's a private blog network. Probably you might have heard about it, where you have to you pretty much like buy expired domains and host them on probably maybe a PBN website and try to use it for the sake of manipulating the search algorithm, and all of that. So if probably that's what you've been doing, and or maybe or you're guilty of any of those kind of things, there's a possibility that you might have been hit. And if that happens, Google might decide to manually review your website. So usually when that happens, you get a notification like this. So this is usually under your search console on manual actions. Okay, so under manual action, security and manual action. So if you go to security and manual actions, you see it here. Just as you've seen now, no issues detected. So no manual issues on this website is actually algorithm hit, but the website has been hit, but there is no issues detected from the manual action. So this website was affected by, just as I've explained already, from the algorithm update. So okay. Then the second one is the algorithmic, penalty. So okay, that one has to do with, this one particular one has to do with Google algorithm, just as I've already explained. These penalties are triggered by Google search algorithm rather than by humans. Okay, the first one here is triggered by humans. That's manual. The first one here is by manual review. Okay, this one is by algorithm. So they're about major algorithm updates. Okay, I'll also run a breakdown on the top algorithm updates and explain them as well. So they're about, I think there are about 5 of them. Okay, 4 of them. I summarized them to about 4 of them here for anyone watching this, masterclass to really understand. So we have the Panda algorithm. This deals with duplicate content, plagiarized or thin content, user-generated spam, keyword stuffing, okay, unhelpful content. Okay, so probably duplicate content for most of the guys that are just hearing these terms for the first time, duplicate content, just as the name implies, having like replicated variants of your content on your website. For example, you have a content on the keyword, out. Okay, let's pick one of the websites. I think this particular client's website, okay, was affected. That was affected. Daily time poems. Let's look at that. I think there's a network problem here. Okay. Daily time poems. All right. For example, here, okay, let's say maybe you already created a content on this particular keyword, child abuse poem, and then for some reason you had to like recreate it again, maybe unknowingly without. It can happen. If you have a lot of content on your website, you might mistakenly recreate something that have already existed. So if probably you did that, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, that can fall under duplicate content and all of that. So okay, plagiarized or thin content. This has to do with copied articles and all of that. User generated spam. These are usually like content scraping. Okay, most of you guys that know this content scraping has to do with picking content from different platforms, like the popular copy and paste, copy like from different sources, and you paste on your website, like. And also, it can be on site and it can also be off site as well. When it comes to like user generated spam, it can be on site and also off site. Then keyword stuffing has to do with cannibalization. That's trying to like manipulate the algorithm with interpacing too many keywords on your article. Like let's say this particular content, this particular article here is about child abuse poems, and you are trying to like reflect the focus keywords like countable times on your content, or probably maybe you are using it as tags on your article. Like there are situations whereby you can try to like use alternate phrase match of this particular keyword as tags, right? So probably if maybe you get guilty of that, that can be seen as keyword stuffing. That's keyword cannibalization. Okay. Then Google uses BERT. BERT is actually a machine learning program, okay, as classifier to examine poorly written contents that are out of focus, intent, and context. Okay, I think Google released on the. If you go to Google Search Central, you realize that they released an update on helpful content. That was on August. Yeah. Okay, so this update really affected a lot of websites, including some of our clients' websites as well. So, okay, machine learning classifier. Okay, so it uses machine learning as classifier to examine poorly written content that are out of, focus, intent. So remember, this is a machine learning program, BERT, okay, to examine poorly written content on your website. Poorly written content are usually content that are unhelpful, content that are unhelpful for to readers. Maybe you are using AI tools wrongly. If you use AI tools wrongly, probably you pick a phrase match and then allow the AI to like recreate those contents for you and stuff like that without like carrying out that human face second level editing and all of that. There's a possibility that if you publish such content on your website, you can violate the quality guidelines. So the third one here is okay. So the second one, the penguin. Okay, usually there are about two of them that are very important. Panda deals with content, and then penguin deals with links, basically. So these are the popular ones. Probably you hear maybe most of the webmasters talk about. Every time Google release update is usually on content and links. Maybe the last update on August was on helpful content. The one they released recently is on links and all of that. So penguin algorithm, spammy and irrelevant links with overemphasized, optimized anchored text. We'll also get to talk about this more practically. So the next one here is the Human-Bird RankBrain algorithm. So basically, RankBrain is a machine learning system that sorts rankings of keywords, keyword relevancy. Okay, for example, let's say when you search for a phrase match like this, you can see Google will always like bring phrases that tally to your intent, tally with your intent, what you are really trying to get. So RankBrain is actually responsible for that. Okay, all right, and then okay, lack of query specific relevance, shallow content, poor user generated, and all of that. Okay, the next one here is medic algorithm. So lack of authority on your money, your life niche based website. Okay, so this particular algorithm tackles any your money, any website that is specific on your money, your life niche. Like let's say health website, health niche website, law, finance, education, and the likes of all of that. So it's released periodically. So probably you might not have maybe heard of this particular update, but it happens like once in a while to like affect most of these websites. So the major focus is usually on EAT, like weak EAT. That EAT means expertise or authoritativeness and trustworthiness. Okay, so you focus more on this factor, which probably Harrison will also emphasize more on that as well. Then okay, so that's all for the major algorithm updates. So quickly, let me also look at how to know that your blog site has been hit by Google. This is where a lot of you are actually um, most of the things that you can get to know that your website is hit. Harrison will also emphasize on this as well, but I also throw some light on it. How to know that your blog has been hit by Google update. You observe drop and losses of keywords at scale. So massive losses of keywords. Let's go to Ahrefs. Okay, so this is Ahrefs, and let's examine that website that was hit by Google update. All right, so you can see the graph is down, and let's check calendar. Right, you go to calendar settings, and then you click on pages. All right, so let's see for the past 30 days. Let's try to see the lost keyword. So you can see like the number of keywords it has gained within the past 30 days is about 37. The ones that has been lost is more than the ones that has been gained, right? Okay, and lost means that this keyword have actually leave search engine. Okay, it's no longer available. You can see it was ranking on okay, lost, right? So it's no longer available on search engine. All right, so okay, good. All right, okay, over to Harrison from there. I think I will continue later again. All right.
Okay. All right. So just like Sabret have actually said, one major problem with this stuff is, I mean, I think you guys actually have to understand this in a very wider scale. When we are talking about getting hit by Google, primarily this is something that, I mean, okay, sorry. Now, when we are talking about getting hit by Google, I mean, primarily this is something that actually happened to almost all bloggers. Kind of like things was actually going on well, but all of a sudden you cannot really tell what actually went wrong. Then everything just kind of like plummets. Plummets to absolute zero. Your traffic getting completely annihilated, and you're like, where did I get this wrong? Sometimes it could be that you've done something wrong on your own end, but sometimes it could be that you're up. I mean, you are completely innocent, and it can happen to whether you're doing something wrong or you're doing nothing wrong. That's one thing I actually want you to understand. It is only people who are new in SEO that actually feels like when you've gotten it all right that you would never be hit. That's a lie. Regardless of how powerful your blog is, I mean, it doesn't even matter who you think you are. You can lose your traffic by 100%. And I'm going to show you guys an example of those kind of massive websites with a particular website with about 2 million monthly visitors, losing literally all of its traffic, and you're like, wow. I mean, wow. And if you look at the quality of this website, it has been around for years. It has some level of trust with Google. But again, like I actually tell people, Google is a respecter of no man. They can hit any blog. They don't give any flying fuck about nobody. All right. So now, just like Sir Bright have actually said, but first of all, before I actually proceed, can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Let me see that you guys can actually see us very clearly and you're listening. Okay. So just like Sir Bright have actually said, how can you know, or how do you know that you've been hit by the algorithm? I mean, sorry, unfortunately, I'm not seeing any engagement. I'm not seeing any comments. I hope we are all on the same page. I'm alive. Okay. So I mean, just like okay, all right, perfect. All right, perfect. So just like Sabra actually said, how do you know that you've been hit by the update? Okay. Now, if you think simply because you've lost traffic, then that means you've been hit by the update. Even though getting hit by the update has a lot more to do with losing traffic, usually it is not really about the traffic. Because what if you were publishing content that, for instance, let's assume that you were publishing articles that are not evergreen. Example, jam result. So that particular period you were having a lot of traffic, then all of a sudden when the jam result is actually over 2 months later, usually those traffic goes to zero because nobody will be searching for jam results again. So if those are the kind of traffic or content that you have on your site, you might be losing traffic, not necessarily because you've been hit, but because your content are not evergreen. So losing traffic or losing impression does not necessarily mean that you've been hit. It might have a lot to do with the kind of article on your website. Maybe, just maybe, at that particular point in time, your traffic is not really spiking up. So, but most of the common stuff that you would notice that you've lost or you've been hit by the update. In fact, let me share this simple screen with you guys. So one of the key things you should be looking forward to, and when this happens, let me see if I can make this full screen. All right, perfect. So now when this happens, then you would know, okay, voila, I just lost traffic. Is stuff like this actually happen? In fact, if let me get this website to in Ahrefs. Sorry, let me log into my Ahrefs account. So now, okay, this particular website belongs to a particular client, which we are currently actually working on. So now this site was hit by the helpful content updates. You know, Google actually released a lot of updates, helpful content updates, spam updates, you know, review updates, algorithmic updates, and all of these things started aggressively somewhere around July of this year. So usually, how do you know that you've been hit? Okay. Now, if you're the type that actually gets so familiar with Ahrefs, just in case you don't have this tool, okay, this is actually one of the tool that you can use to see exactly what's going on on your website. It is very, very powerful. Actually, it is premium, so you might consider paying for it if your website is bringing in some money. So now, if I go to organic keywords, and then under the tab that you see all of the keywords that you're ranking for, I hope you guys can see my screen clearly. We're on the same page. All right, perfect. So now if you go to organic keywords, now usually you see stuff like this. Can you see this lost? All of this lost. Beautiful. Now this is exactly what happened. In fact, if I go to update so that you can see, I mean, you can see what happened like a few minutes ago or a few hours ago to this website. 13 hours ago, this site, okay, actually it is beginning to come back lately because we're actually working on the website. As you can actually see, it's beginning to come back. I mean, to regain back its traffic, which would show you guys actually how to get this done. But if I go to calendar in Ahrefs, I'm actually going to show you guys in a very much more better view. So Asad, let me say, let me choose a particular date as to which this actually happened. Let's see if I can get these dates up. All right. So now, sorry, I'm not sure exactly, but I think I'm having slow network. Now you can actually see, usually you start losing traffic. You start losing keywords All right. Now, this lost means that this particular page has completely been de-indexed. In fact, if I click on the page, it will take us to the actual website or web page. Now, this is the web page. Oh man, what's wrong with my network? So actually, this is love making poems to spice up your sex foreplay, whatever. I mean, love making poems, stuff like that, to actually spice up your sex life. Okay. So now, when you see stuff like this saying lost, automatically it means that this page have been de-indexed. If you go to Google and then use the search operator, sites, and then let's see. Okay, actually, this page actually came back. But usually when you see this lost like that, you would not see this particular page again on Google. It is completely like the index. Okay. So oftentimes when you see this thing actually happen, in fact, sometimes Ahrefs will actually show you much more clearly by drawing a straight line across. Then you know, okay, for real, this page have been de-indexed. Now, and then you would have this at a very high scale, losing keywords massively, losing keywords aggressively. You're not gaining keywords. Okay, literally no keyword gains here. And when this happens at a very higher scale, in fact, if you're gaining keyword, you see stuff like new and it will show green. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can actually see this very, very clearly. Please, can you guys see this very clearly? Can you see this very clearly? I actually want to see you guys respond so we know that we're on the same page. All right. Yes. Okay, beautiful. So now, in this particular situation, you know, okay, if this is actually happening, sometimes, most of the time, it is a reflection of the fact that you have a pending issue with Google, or you have a particular scores to settle with Google. And then again, how do you know that you've been hit? That's case number one. Case number two, sometimes you are indexed like this. You check your website, it's on index. Like literally, you are being indexed. To be indexed means when you search on Google, you will see that particular URL on Google. It means that you are in Google database. Google knows about your website and you have been, stored in their database. But the problem is that you're being indexed, but you're not being saved. If I say save, I actually mean SERVED. You're not being saved to the public. In other words, is it saved or served? Served. Okay. In other words, when someone actually search for that particular keyword of yours, or search for that particular search query or something, or search for your article, or literally make some search on Google, there is no way that you will come up. But if the owner of that particular article search for the URL, they will see it on Google. But when there are searches happening on search engine, you are not being served to Google visitors. Okay. So not only would that actually happen to a particular link of yours, it will be a literal process that cut across almost all of your websites at a very crazy scale. And when this happens at that particular rate, this is usually what you would see eventually. The impression and the clicks on your search console will start plummeting, and eventually it will go to absolute zero. Okay. So this is another case scenario. And then, just like Sabright also actually said, that your impression might drastically reduce. You might notice your impression drastically reducing consistently until you get to zero. Okay. So now, these are one of the signs that actually happen. So if you've been hit by the actual update, because in fact, if you are a blogger, you know, the last 4 months or the last 6 months was not fun at all for all bloggers. No matter who you are, in one way or the other, there were a lot of updates hitting left, right, and center, and boys were literally getting annihilated, losing traffic, gaining traffic. It was a crazy experience. But just in case you've been favored by all of the algorithm, yeah, we can see it. Okay, all right, beautiful. So just in case you actually have a very good time, all the update favors you and you don't experience any of this, still let us know in the comment section. All right. So now the next question that would actually tackle right now, me and Sabright, is Sabright, are you there?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, beautiful. So now the next question is, what do you do if you've been hit by the update? That's the question. How can you recover from the updates? Okay. So I'm actually very happy that, I mean, Sir Bright was actually very quick to touch about stuff like, the different types of updates, the link updates, the algorithmic updates, and stuff like that. So now the question is, what should you do? What should you do if you've been hit by the updates? How can you recover from this particular penalty? Is there hope for you? Or that's the end of the website? Okay, very quick answer. Yes, there is a very huge hope for you. Anybody can be hit. All right, you can lose all your traffic and then get it back in almost no time. So now that's the next part we'll be entering right now. Okay, so Sir Bright, would you have anything to say before I actually proceed on that?
All right, great. Okay, thank you. Can you guys still see my screen?
Okay, let me make your screen up. All right, it's up right now. They can see it.
Okay, so in addition to what Harrison also said, if your website is affected by algorithm update, there's usually a local budget. Okay, I don't. For most of you guys that are bloggers that have been, you've been on this blogging thing for quite a very long time. You observe that if you publish content regularly on your website, the indexing time of your website actually do increase. For example, let's say you publish like 10 articles in a day, Google may crawl up to like 2 or 3. If you publish up to 20 articles, Google spiders can crawl up to like 5, 10, like that. But if your website is 8, you can probably be having very low crawl budget on your website. So those are things that might also affect your website, if you are hit by
That's
the
right.
algorithm update. So how do you recover from the algorithm update? Okay, there are about a couple of ways you can recover. Of course, it happens to anybody. So, but the whole thing here is that you can always. The good thing is that you can always reverse engineer the whole process and fix yourself up, and your site will be back. We've done this many times to a lot of websites, and the good thing about blogging is that it doesn't mean even if your website is down, as far as your website is live, you can still get it back up just by doing the right thing. And okay, I'm going to I've listed a couple of things that you can do to recover your website. So one of it is to perform a full site audit, right? If you have access to SEMrush, this will really be a good thing to do with SEMrush. SEMrush has some more, advanced data on this particular aspect. So you can carry out a full site audit to really know what areas to fix on your website. So most of those site audits, or most of the details you look at is they identify link building opportunities, like the bad links that was pointing to your website. You also want to evaluate that, which is usually 80% of just as I've said, the major update is usually focused on content and links. So, but since links usually pass the highest level of equity to your website, because backlinks is very important, and um, almost every website that is ranking on search engine is achieving that position because of backlinks, right? So, and Google plays high consideration on that. If you go to SEMrush, for example, let's just pick a random keyword that this article was ranking for, inspiration poem for Nisis. Let's search that on SEMrush. So you want to go to semrush.com. This is also a premium tool. Inspiration poem for Nisi. So if you search that on SEMrush and then you scroll all the way down, the volume for this keyword is actually low, but let's just check it. All right, so you can see that every of this domain that is ranking on SERP is our search engine result pages. So every of this website that is ranking here is achieving that because they have referring domains, backlinks. So you can see this particular one, the search volume is about 1,100. Okay, that's the monthly search for this particular phrase. The phrase I've just repeated there. So just as you've seen, there are about 18 referring domains. Backlinks are very important and all of that. So there's a possibility that maybe somehow one thing about link building is that you might not really be the one that is guilty of, the whole trying to manipulate the algorithm. Might be maybe an attack on your website, or anything can happen. Exactly. So when you carry out site audit on your website, you'll be able to know, okay, this is what to do. And also in this masterclass, I'm going to show you how to carry out a site audit as well. So usually all you just have to do is go to ACM Rush, and then under the left-hand section, you see site audits around here. All right, so you input your URL and then start the audit. Then you get to, it will give you all the, data you need. Data like you get to see like 404 error pages. If you have 404 error, that's deleted pages. 404 error pages that have been out of, your website, that are no longer available. Okay, and stuff like that. So find potential information, architecture improvement, find and fix thin content. So probably if there is any like maybe, let's say if you were using tags wrongly on your website, you have to fix that by implementing 301 redirects to the source page of that particular content. A lot of advanced things you can do with actually explain that on Toomed Mastery program, where you get to like learn everything you need to know, all the starting from the basics to the advance of SEO, like all the things you need to do and all of that. So basically, most times when you or usually when you create tags on your website, tags are more like new folders on your website. Okay, so and it can be seen as thin content, which is bad for SEO and all of that. So when you carry out site audit, especially when you do it wrongly, there's a way you should create tags, which we also explained that on Toomed Mastery. But when you do it wrongly, it's seen as keyword cannibalization. So you want to like redirect those to like the source page and all of that. So, but most importantly, when you carry out the research, the analysis on ACM Rush, you are going to see most of the links that have thin content. That's usually tags. And then identify and fix duplicate content. I think I've already site audits will enable you to like see duplicate content and try to fix them. To fix duplicate content, the best strategies that work is that maybe if it's up to about 2 or 3 duplicate content, try to find the one that is indexed on search already, and then use the other one to redirect, implement the one redirect on the ones that are not indexed to the major ones. And I think that should fix that issue. And then scan for keyword optimization. Okay, Harrison will also cover this part for you to also understand. Optimize metadata, usually meta tags and description. So if you lose ranking on your keywords like this website right now, apart from just the link angle, which we'll also get to that, you can always try to like re-optimize the website and cover most of the topic areas like topic clusters, keyword variations, and all of that. You can always look out for those things and then try to like fill up those gaps as well. So and then okay, optimize metadata. That's meta tags and description. There is a possibility that maybe you need to like recreate your metadata, like meta description. Usually these are like meta description, all of this. Okay, so you might need to like re-optimize that and then see how it goes, especially if you're off from search engine. If your website is, if your keywords, if you've lost massive keywords on a particular page, okay, you can consider like updating your articles, adding more value to your content, changing your meta description, your meta tags, and all of that. We've explained all of that on Toomed Mastery. So identify page update opportunities. Of course, when you lose keywords, you want to like update your content. So also you run page speed analysis. Page speed analysis is gradually becoming a major ranking factor. Of course, as of about a few months ago. One thing about SEO is that it keeps changing, and a lot of things change. The strategies and all of that keeps changing. So just you have to like optimize your site speed, and usually you can do those things with Cloudflare or probably some few plugins like Lightspeed, and there are a couple of them. You can just search them on Google, and then you get to see a lot of them. You can use Lightspeed, you can use like Cloudflare, and then try to like fix those. There are a lot of YouTube videos on that. Then run, okay, scan and fix sites with 404 errors. Okay, usually 404 error sites, I redirect them. There's a command you can set on your, on your from your host directly. Okay, probably on your cPanel. If you are using cPanel, you can set a command, and then it's that command will basically redirect all 404 page to maybe home page, home page, or probably you can use a plugin. There's a plugin that can fix that. About, I think, 404 error to home page plugin. So you can just search that out on Google, and then you see it. You can also be affected by the algorithm update due to 505 error, probably that HTTPS error. Let's say if you maybe misconfigure your HTTPS at SSL, you know, security layout that is encrypted to your browser. So probably if you misconfigure that, it might also be a negative signal to Google, and you can observe some keyword drops as a result of that. And another one is internal server error. This is usually with your hosting company. Probably if you are using the wrong hosting company, there's a possibility that you might have these issues frequently, and it's not really good for your website. If your website is going down occasionally, it's hurts your it's more like degrading your trust in the eyes of Google. So you have to like try and ensure that you get a good hosting account. On Tools Mastery, we also cover this. There are some recommended hosting providers that we would like all of our students to like make use of as well. And the good thing about Tools Mastery is that it's a series-based course. Like we keep updating the course. It's not just like a fixed lesson. We just keep like improving the course as Google is launching new updates. We are like updating the programs on the course and all of that. I don't know if every one of you is hearing me. I believe I have the attention of everybody. Hello. Do I have the attention of everybody? Hello? Hello, Mr. Harrison, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, can you guys hear me? All right, okay, great. Okay, thank you. All right, okay, so let's continue. Okay, so I think I will cover that. You perform full site audit on that. And then the next thing you want to do is check your analytics and branding EAT. So I think Google released an analytics, that G4 analytics, okay? You can set that up. It's very easy to like, set it up. Though on Teams Mastery, we've explained everything about the, platform, the analytics, how to like make use of them to track data and all of that. We've covered all of those things. You want to like use your analytics to now check the keywords that you will be performing much better on. Probably, usually when your website is affected by the update, it's not really site wide, except maybe it the penguin algorithm updates that hits your site. That's usually on links. But if it's maybe helpful content or maybe Panther updates, it's usually on a specific area of your niche. Maybe you are losing keywords as a result of the fact that you don't have enough topical relevance and topical authority. You've not covered topical map on that particular niche, and Google does not find your website or your niche trusted. So maybe they demote your website for that reason. Okay, so you want to like use analytics to first of all like try to analyze where you perform much better on, and then try to fix that as well. And then identify affected keywords, pages, and cover content gap. Okay, I've explained that already. So you just identify the keywords through the method that Harrison have explained. Find those keywords and then try to like cover the content gap. We've also explained this very well in detail on Tools Mastery as well. So the first one here is optimize affected content and pages by covering more topic clusters. Okay, so once you do all of these things, it's just a matter of time. Your website will start picking up to a degree. It's not one thing about the algorithm update is that Okay, most of you have questions like this: how long does it take to recover a Google penalty? So the thing about algorithm update is that it depends on the kind of. Okay, the thing about Google update is that Google penalty update is that it depends on the type. Is it if it was manual penalty or maybe algorithm penalty? Usually manual penalty you can always chat them up. You can always like email them directly. You can always reply. I think there's a way you can reply them also. So if you go to your manual section here, manual action, okay, you can always like follow them up, like provide what they need, and then give them everything that tell them you fixed your size problem. If it was maybe if you were penalized as a result of maybe bad link building technique, you can disavow those links and then report to them that, okay, I've disavowed all those links. Maybe it was not done by me and all of. There's a template for it with which with time we'll get to like show you guys the template and all of that. So and algorithmic penalties. Okay, different. Okay. How long does it take to recover from Google penalty? For manual penalties, you can expect, okay, I've already covered that. So it depends primarily on how long it takes for a Google team member to, okay, of course, cover that. So this particular one, is a different story. It might take 6 months of recovery. Most times, algorithm update might be even, you can carry out these changes and not maybe observe any until Google released another update. Okay, Google released another update. So there are people like during this particular update, we had a client, I think December 21st, we had a client that was affected during this particular update. And when okay, not product, okay, core update, yeah, that was November 17th. Yeah, we had a client that was affected, by this particular update. The client's website, went from about I think it was about 800,000, right, to about 100,000. From traffic of about 800 and about 500,000 index keywords to about 120 something thousand index keywords. So that was how like crazy the whole thing went. And then we carried out the updates, the necessary changes and all of that. And then during the prior to the helpful content update, they released another core update that was on May 25th. So when they released this particular update, May 25th update, the website went back up again. Okay, for the sake of confidentiality to most of these clients, I won't be like revealing their website here, but there are a lot of clients that we work with that their websites are becoming much better as well. So usually this happens. Okay, it does not mean that it's the end of the whole game for you. So the whole thing is just like keep when your website is affected by the algorithm update, carry out these changes that we've listed out here, and then hopefully your website should be back on track. And okay, Harrison is going to cover how to like disavow toxic links on your website. He's going to like show you most of the links that was negatively that are toxic on the website, factors to also look out for when you are trying to like disavow links. Usually, there are different types of links. Okay, so it's going to like cover most of the things to also look out for. Okay, so also if you have a question, I would, you can ask your question on the, I think there's a comment on this particular video. Ask your questions. I would like to entertain your questions. And, most importantly, if you have, maybe if your site was, if you've done any of these things, or probably you can't do any of these things, you don't have the tools, you can, contact our agency directly. You can go to the contact page or visit the website, brightcycle.co, and then tell us what you want. Is it an expired domain that you need? Is it whatever you want? Just these are most of the service we offer. So maybe if you have if it's a penalty update like Google algorithm updates, you can just like click on any of these, put your name, information, tell us like everything about what you want us to do for you, and then we can probably maybe schedule a call with you, and then get to really have an idea about what exactly you want us to do, and then you know send it to you, and we'll go from there. Okay. Be looking forward to your questions, and Harry, over to you, Harrison.
Okay. All right. Sabright, are
Yeah,
you
I'm with you.
done?
Yes. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done for now. Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, following what Sabright just said, okay. Excuse me. Let me try to share my screen so we can have an idea of what's going on here. Okay. All right. Okay. So now the okay. So actually, Sabright, I've been able to cover in details a lot of stuff already. Okay. Now, what I'm actually going to be showing you guys is what's happened when you get, I mean, how can you recover from these updates or from the heat? Okay. Now, the actual thing I actually want you guys to understand is that the major thing that actually leads to heat, okay, actually we have different types of updates. Okay. It is not every update that comes from Google that is actually algorithmic updates. Okay. Most of these updates sometimes are actually system update. In fact, Google even had to launch, I mean, release a new documentaries on how to name this stuff. Okay. Because before this time we thought that every single update from Google actually have to do with the algorithm. So they had to clarify things, that there's a difference between algorithmic updates and systematic updates. All right. And then they actually try to help us understand that there's a very huge difference between these two, and most of their updates is mostly systematic. Okay. So now, from my experience of blogging over the years, the major things that lead to updates is number one, link penalty. Okay, either link building or you're spamming on the internet looking for traffic, because a lot of we bloggers are actually very funny. We go to all the traffic platform, maybe like Facebook, like Reddit, like Quora, like I mean any website that you send that you can actually get traffic from. You go there and spam your link. You put your link, and your link is not even supposed to be there. It's not necessary. But here you are literally spamming the whole internet with a link. When you keep doing this stuff at a high scale, eventually the algorithm actually catches up with you. And what happened there is you will be penalized on what they call spam updates by Google spam brain. And again, one of the things that actually lead to some of these updates or this penalty is, I mean, what I would actually call, trying to do link building. And you're doing this link building the wrong way. Okay. By literally going through the internet, and I mean, you're looking for any website that you can comment your link on, or that you can literally paste your link on. You've opened all the possible profile link. I mean, all the website actually give you access to create profile and then put your link. You've put your link in there, both the trusted one and the ones actually not trusted. And you're on all the website putting your link in all the comment section, looking for do follow and no follow links. These things used to work before, to be very honest with you. But right now, a lot of things have changed. All of those unnecessary strategies are no longer working. So you should stop spamming the internet, stop putting your link in any of the, I mean, stop playing with your link, like basically. And again, content updates, poor quality content. Some people are actually very used to writing some jargons on their website. So if you have super low quality content and your content does not really satisfy search intent, most of the time you will eventually get hit by Google, and they try to replace you with high quality website. And sometimes this particular one is actually very, very common with bloggers. We're actually very fond of heaping new content upon new content on our website without knowing that our old content actually needs update. So when you eventually keep doing this stuff, you fall into what we call, content decay. Your content start decaying. Okay. All right. And then instead of going back to update all of your content, here you are on the internet adding more and more content to your website. And when that actually happens, you might be penalized. So now, but in this particular situation, I'll be focusing more on how you can recover from possible link updates. Okay, so now the question is, how do I know that I have been hit by link? Okay, so very quickly, this is exactly how you can know. Most of the time, how you can possibly know that you've been hit by a link update. All right, now though this may not necessarily work all of the time or 100%, but it work almost like 99% of the time. So the very first thing is, you can use Ahref, you can use SEMrush, you can use any of the tool you think you have. Somebody actually asked if there is no free tool that you can use to do this. Well, honestly, you can use this tool. Yeah, you can use this. Also one of a very good tool, Screaming Frog. All right, now you can use Screaming Frog to actually do your site audits, but you'll be drastically limited. There are a lot of things that you can do here. Okay, now Screaming Frog actually have free. You can use their free service to get exactly what you want. And again, I haven't forgot self. Ahref also have free. You can use Ahref for free. I think you just have to go to Ahref. Let me see if I can. Excuse me. Let me see if I can go to Ahref homepage so I can show you guys how you can log into Ahref for free. Though, good. So you can come to Ahref and then create your account. I think somewhere here, you can actually join Ahref from here and create your account. And then let me see, sign up. Let's see if there is an access for that. Let me see. Sorry, I think somewhere here you can actually create an account with Ahref for free. All right, so just go check it out, okay? Or I can actually drop the link in the comment section how you can sign up for Ahref for free, and then connect your Search Console, put your website. The only thing is that before you can actually use your website on Ahref, you actually have to connect your Search Console. Then this way you can use Ahref for free. You can literally have access to almost everything. You can do site audit. You can do a lot of stuff they can actually do with Ahref. But one of the major restriction is that you won't be able to do keyword research. You won't be able to use this keyword aspect, and then some other premium features on Ahref. You won't be able to do it. However, you can actually use Ahref for free by almost 90%. Okay, so take note of that. It is very, very okay. Now, how do you know that you've been hit by Ahref? Okay, so after this particular class, you can go back and log into Ahref, create free account. If you cannot buy the premium account, it's about $200 or something a month. So now when you've signed up to Ahref, the very first thing I actually want you to do is to try to analyze if you've been hit by the updates. Okay, please, are we still connected? Are we still there? If you are there, let me know. Okay, someone is actually asking a question, and then the question is, please tell us, how can we build links, especially for a young site? Well, I'm not sure this particular class have to do with link building. Okay, and then Justice Chubike is saying, after the latest update, the post I made on one of my websites are indexing, but only the images in the content appear on SEP. What do you have to say about this? Any solution? Oh, well, there are so many factors on this particular situation. Maybe it can depend on how old is your website. I mean, was that particular site performing better before on SEP? And then is this particular discovery new? Are you getting to actually see this like recently? Then if this is new experience, like prior to what the site actually used to perform before on search engine, then you should know that something is wrong. Okay, and we need to carefully go through so many factors to possibly understand what's going on. And then somebody also asking here, Solomon Seal Samuel is saying, Sabright, how can one fix the use of too much tax like correctly? That's a very good question. Very, very good question. Okay. But I mean, unfortunately, I'm not sure if we actually have time to in the next few minutes, we'll be ending this live. But that's a very good question. Hopefully, we can actually answer that in the comment section. So now, okay, thank you. So please, are we connected? Are we fully connected? Because I basically want to proceed on where I stopped. Okay. Okay. So the question is, what should you do? How can you know that you've been hit by link? All right. The very first thing I actually want you to do is to carry out a little analysis by checking on the correlation between link and your website. So if you're using Ahref, just simply go to Ahref under use Ahref version 2.0. Okay. Sabright?
Yeah. I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Okay. All right. Perfect. So sorry, I think my network is slow. All right. So now you try to use Ahrefs version 2.0. Okay, now, so what happened there is, please follow me very, very closely, all right? I'm actually going to expose some certain things to you guys like right now. All right. So if you go to version 2.0, now the next thing I actually want you to see is, sorry, unfortunately, this particular site does not have so much data. Okay. All right. So the very first thing I actually want you to see is, watch this. You can actually see the correlation between referring domain, which is your backlinks, okay, backlinks, and your organic traffic. Dude, there are actually so many metrics here: URL rating, organic traffic, the traffic value, and then the traffic pages, and so on and so on, and your paid traffic. Now, these are almost all of the metrics, and this is a graph, okay? But the only thing I actually want you to concentrate on is to remove the paid traffic, because you're not interested on AdWord traffic right now. Actually, Ahrefs can actually track if you're having organic traffic to your blog, or if you're having paid traffic to your blog. Okay, so uncheck paid traffic, uncheck paid traffic cost, uncheck traffic value, uncheck URL rating. So the only thing I would want to keep right now is referring domains and organic traffic and organic pages. But I'm actually going to uncheck organic pages for now, so we can actually have a very easy graph. Now, watch something, okay? Watch this correlation. First of all, I mean, I just wish I can actually zoom this a little bit much more, I mean, closer. Is there a way I can actually zoom this so you guys could see it better? Please, how do this zoom browser? Sabrai, do you have any idea? Let me check how to zoom.
To zoom your browser, right?
Yeah. Do you know?
Go to the three dotted icon by your right hand side.
Okay.
Under update. No, like right hand side.
Right
Right.
hand side. Okay.
That,
Where's my
no,
right?
your
Okay.
left.
Yeah. This side. Okay.
Yeah. Update. That three dotted, like the X. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Click on the sign. The three.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're saying it
So, all
right.
right. Yeah. Beautiful. So now, okay. Yeah. Let me see if I can zoom it much more closer, because I actually want people to see this better. All right. Beautiful. Now, okay, please, can you see the screen better right now? If you can see the screen, just let me know. Okay, cool. So now, the next thing I actually want you guys to actually see much more clearly is the correlation between your referring domain, which is usually the backlinks that you built, okay, all the website, the links that you added to your website, okay, versus your traffic. How are they actually working? So watch this. First of all, I actually want you to understand Ahrefs gives you track of all the updates. This G they actually seen here, all the updates. In fact, they even help you to name them, like somewhere around. I mean, we actually had product review update in March, and then we had May core updates, and then again we had product review updates again. We had September core update. We had, I mean, a lot spam update, helpful content update, December spam update, and all of those updates actually happen. So you can as well see the correlation between that update and your traffic. Now, this is the very first thing I actually want you to know. Ahrefs gives you an access to see when that update actually came and how your traffic was actually performing. I mean, if your site was hit in Google, can you drop your link in the comment section? If you're on YouTube, possibly drop your link in the comment section. If you're on Facebook, then drop your link. Let me use one particular website as sample, so we can actually know if that site was hit by the update, and then I'll tell you if it was link update or not. I mean, while doing this, because I think this particular site does not have so much data for us to analyze better. But now what actually happened there is that, watch this. This blue line indicates links, okay? And then this, is it orange or something, indicates your traffic. Now, when there was no link building, the traffic was gradually spiking up, as you can clearly see. And then, but eventually, as the link began to increase drastically, then just when the link was spiking aggressively, all of a sudden, just watch these dots. Somewhere here, this site was hit as link began to grow. So you can actually see that as link began to grow on the website, the traffic eventually all of a sudden drastically fell down to almost nothing. So now there is a correlation between link spike and traffic. All right. And then, so it does make sense for you to be like, okay, I'm losing a lot of traffic. Then, based on what I actually have here, it is obviously very clear that as my link was growing drastically, eventually my traffic was plummeting. Now, watch this at all-time high of link growth. When this particular website have actually built 1,080 referring domain, that's a lot. The traffic went to absolute zero. In fact, when this site actually built somewhere around beautiful 377, I think, sorry, 340 link, as you can clearly see, in the screen below, that was exactly when the link issues actually started, and then eventually everything went to zero. So now there is a drastic correlation between link building, and traffic loss. Let me check if I actually have anybody URL here. So somebody have pasted his URL, and the question is pastquestionhub.com. Okay, let me see if I can actually copy that. Pastquestionhub, right? .com. Let me make you guys to see exactly what's going on here. So first of all, I'll try to check this out, and then the question, it is Past Question Hub. Let me search, and okay, first of all, I cannot see the URL on search by searching on the domain name. Then let me add .com. Let's see if you can get it. It's still not even okay. We have pastquestion.com, and then we have Past Question Hub. All right, I hope this is the website that was hit. First of all, I'm actually very sorry, bro. When your site actually get hit, it can destroy your peace of mind. Okay, it can fuck you up, like mentally. Okay, so now what you actually have here is, if I drive this through Ahrefs, please follow me very, very closely. I will drive this right now. I want you, at the end of this class, you should go back and then repeat the exact same process. Now, let's check this. Now, watch the particular site, okay? So this site was going on so well, but something actually happened somewhere here. And there is no really correlation between link building, but what actually happened here is that this site got hit by the updates. So there is a particular update that was released. Let's see. This update was released. Okay. Sorry. I was looking at something else. I am looking at somewhere here, but I just realized that it actually got down here and then revived back to this level. Well, it is something actually looking very, very fishy right now, because if you can see this graph right now, this link was going super high, but there is a drastic loss of link. I'm not sure what the person did. Did all of the website actually link back to you, automatically de-index you, or started removing all the backlinks? So there is a very funny situation actually going on that's looking very fishy, because the link was going, this particular purple link, orange or something. I'm not very good with colors, with naming colors actually, but I'm not color blind, okay? I'm not just very good at naming colors because I don't know how they are called. But this looked something very similar to orange. So now this particular orange color this is the rate at which link was actually being built. But there is a very huge decline here, almost going at a straight line. And in my opinion, this is very, very scary.
Sorry, Harrison, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think that should be helpful content update. That was on August, right?
Okay. Now, no, chill. Before we even get to helpful content updates, let's try to understand two things actually happening here. There is a very drastic link lost, like going on here, and then there's the traffic is not really going that down though, because from what I actually see here, it is picking back up. In fact, if we check, let me show you something. If I go back to the same Ahrefs, and then let's see what's happening to the website better, because we just can't know exactly what's going on right now by just analyzing that alone. Excuse me, let me take back the zoom. All right, so now if I go to Ahrefs, I would like to see, this is the keyword situation right now, but let's see the traffic history of this site. it was having somewhere around 2,000 more, even if the traffic was not a lot. But right now, it is somewhere around 900. Is it really, really hit? Let's still check more. If I go to organic keyword, because this is what we really used to understand what is really happening to the website. If it is losing, if it is getting the index like drastically, or if it is just losing average ranking position. Okay, so from what I'm seeing here right now, this particular site. Okay, wait, excuse me. Let me check the few minutes before I can actually draw a conclusion. In my opinion, okay. So let's see what happened a few minutes ago. Okay, like 2-3 hours ago. Now, 56 minutes ago, this site, kind of like what you're seeing right here, is that this particular keyword was ranking in position 49, but it eventually changed to 24. Okay, but it is still gaining new keywords, but just that these keywords are not really on top position. But currently, an article, this particular keyword just jumped from position 11 down to position 9. Okay, so which is to say it is even gaining ranking. Now, if you keep coming down, it is in the last few, in short 24 hours ago, everything is looking balanced. Just that it is drastically, this red means that it is moving from 11. I mean, if it was ranking, let me show you. If it was ranking somewhere here, those red means that if it was ranking, this is one, position 2, position 3, and then the first page often come with 10. Okay, this is like to say position 30, 40, 50, 60. So the goal is to rank somewhere around 1 to 3. Okay, now what you're seeing here is that this particular guy was ranking, particular keyword was ranking on position 11 before, position 4, but it just jumped down to 27, which is to say it is losing average ranking position. But at the same time, it is still gaining. Okay, so now this is exactly what just happened a few hours ago. Okay, because you actually have to understand what's going on the blog a few hours ago, so they can actually understand where it is coming from. But if I check the calendar of the website, let's see it in a very bigger view. Okay, so it is, I mean, in the last 24 hours, it lost so many keywords. Well, this site is not looking so bad. Okay, we can't really tell if it was being hit, because from what you can actually see here, it looks like the site tried to actually get back up, but actually went back down. So, excuse me, is this the same URL? Okay, all right. So in my opinion, what you actually have to do on this particular website is to disavow bad backlinks, and then at the same time work a little bit much more on your content quality, because your traffic is actually going back up, which is to say that you are gaining back your ranking. This particular little spike means that you're actually getting back up, so you've not really been hit by the algorithm updates, as opposed to the initial website that we actually checked earlier on. So this site is not actually hit. It is trying to gain back its ranking, but just that maybe there's some negative SEO taking back the website, which in the next few seconds, I will actually show you how to make this website to rank like a crazy motherfucker. Because what I'm actually seeing here is that either it is negative SEO affecting your website, bad links, because this your link graph is looking very scary. So you actually have to remove the bad links and make sure that bad links is not taking back this website from ranking properly. At the same time, understand if your content is actually having issues. But from what I'm seeing right here, even if there is an update, you've been gaining traffic all way long. What if it is just your niche losing its average? I mean, losing its spike at the moment. So this is not necessarily an algorithm hit. Okay. One last website. Sorry, is anyone following us? Is anyone lost here, or we are still like together? I actually have one last website I would like to look forward to. Somebody give us the website, worldstudyportal.com. All right. So let's try to look at worldstudyportal.com. Please, if you are following us, let me know in the comment section that you're actually following us. So we have World Study Portal. Let me check so we can actually see this very openly before Sabright fully comes in. World Study Portal. Right. Okay, worldstudyportal.com. I just checked this particular website. I'm not sure if this is the correct URL, but let me check again. That looks very correct. Okay, World Study Portal. So I just searched for the word World Study Portal and the URL actually came up. which is a very, very good sign. In fact, there is a knowledge panel somewhere here, which is to say that the website is still in index. Okay, it is still in index. So this is the URL. Okay, now let's see what's going on with the website. Okay, let me use a different stuff. Okay, please, this particular website is not necessarily hit. Okay, the owner of this site, Past Question Hub, maybe this December traffic, this December people don't search for past questions anymore. It is not necessarily an algorithm hit, but however, your link building or your link whatever look very, very scary, which need to be carefully looked upon. Okay, but just that this is live class, and then we have to make things at a very faster scale, so we don't have much time to go through it. But from what I'm seeing right now, you're beginning to gain back your traffic up, so that's cool. Now we actually have a site, World Study. Where is the website? All right, so World Study Portal. First of all, let's see the traffic history of the site. So let's understand if it used to have traffic before, because it is difficult to tell if a site is hit even when it was not even having traffic before. So now let's see the organic traffic of the website. Let's see and understand, okay, was it ranking before? Oh, this is insane now. This is crazy. So this bad boy, okay. This guy was hit. This guy is drastically hit. And this is exactly what I was looking for. Now, what you can actually see here is that this bad boy was having somewhere around 15,000 monthly clicks just few months ago. Okay, he was having somewhere around 15,000 monthly clicks, but all of a sudden everything crashed down to zero, completely plummeted. And beautiful. I love the site, but I'm sorry, whoever owned the site, this is a very terrible experience, but this is not the end of the way. You can get back this website. So now the next thing I actually want to look forward to is, let's see what the site is doing a few minutes ago, because you have to understand if it is picking back up. And then again, let's also see the overview, the correlation between traffic and, okay, I am following. Yes, we are following. Who show Euro to replay? Okay, sorry, I am trying to read comment. Somebody saying, Sabright, can you help us with the Bright Cycle URL? Yeah, the Bright Cycle URL will be pasted in the comment inbox. Sabright?
Yeah.
Sabright, can you possibly drop the Bright Cycle URL in your Facebook comments and the YouTube comment link, so they can actually join directly?
Okay.
And then somebody also saying, I know they play again, regardless of, I don't really understand what this person actually saying. So okay, so back to the main stuff. All right. Now this particular site, it is so crazy that this site is losing everything. Excuse me, where's the URL? I hope I haven't closed a particular tab. World Study Portal. Okay, sorry. All right. So now, if you want to check what happened to World Study Portal a few minutes ago, which is actually very important, always check. Always check. Now, as at a few minutes ago, it's just jumped from position 8. By 8. That is to say, from 70 to 62. That means it is ranking better in this particular keyword, and it is getting new keywords lately. And it's getting new keywords, but these keywords are not in any way first page. Okay, it is second page, third page, and then so on. But in the last few hours, it has gained a lot of keywords, which is to say that the crawl budget, Sabright talked about crawl budget. Please understand something. When you've been drastically hit, okay, your crawl budget will be drastically reduced, which is to say you will hardly see things happening on your website in few hours. In fact, as you can clearly see, this is 2 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago. When you've been drastically hit, you would check this particular flank of Ahref, and the last time something actually happened to your website is like maybe 2 days ago, 10 hours ago, 15 hours ago. Your site is not getting crawl actively. That's to say, Google has reduced your crawl rate. Simply put, crawl budget. All right. So the crawl budget of this particular website does not really look that intensely bad, which is to say, anything you actually carry out on this site will get indexed faster, and it is possible to recover this site in almost no time. So let's see why this guy lost his traffic. Okay. Now, this is World Study Portal. Obviously, without looking for a native doctor, if we can see, let's see. Oh, well, links, number one, link building, there was a spike in link. Link was spiking drastically before the heat actually came through. So this link that was spiking actually came through, and then let's see what actually happened. The particular update, the spam update, as you can see, the particular thing that actually happened that brought this website down to stupor is not necessarily helpful content update, because we had helpful content update somewhere here. I mean, I think that was August. We had helpful content update somewhere around August too. Even if content update actually hits you a little bit, you actually got hit by a content update, because if I start from here, somewhere around June to measure it down, you were coming down. But what really put the nail in the coffin, the next update that completely killed the site 100%, was the spam update. All right, beautiful. So now this is what happened when you've been hit. Now the correlation here is that we've seen that after an update, this site started losing traffic. Then when they launched spam updates, everything went to zero. But at the same time, there is a link spike. Okay, so that means as link was increasing, you got trapped by the update. So now, how can you fix this? What should you do? What can you carry out right now that will drastically bring back the site in almost no time? In case you forgot, that is the same thing actually happened to this site, this client's website. Okay, this site was, even though it is not a very high traffic website based on the niche, one thing I actually want you to understand is that it is not all of the niche that brings traffic. Some niche does not have traffic, okay? But the few clicks that are coming into the website are actually very, very valuable. And if you know how to monetize your website, which is one thing that, I mean, Toomt Mastery course is so much good at. They show you how to make money on your site even without traffic. Because most bloggers think that you actually have to have a lot of traffic on your website before you can actually make money. But there are thousands of opportunities on your traffic by just simply monetizing this site through affiliate marketing and so many other options. Okay, so this particular client of ours did not necessarily have a lot of traffic because of the niche, but something actually happened. First of all, observe this actually happening, and also observe this. And when this was fixed, we actually fixed this for the client, and in less than 1 month, the site started getting to all-time high. Okay, so that same thing can also happen to this, and that is exactly what we're also trying about to do to this particular website. Okay, so that same thing can also be done to World Study Portal. Okay, so now what should you do when you have cases like this? The very first thing we want you to do, the most important thing. Now listen, I can't even stress this enough. Sorry that my face is not showing based on my camera just shut down, so I had to go without camera. Somebody saying anyhow to increase the crawl budget. Very good question, beautiful question. I'll answer that in just a moment. And then I am seeing so many URL.
Mr. Harris, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Please, let's attend to the questions once we are done. Okay, once you are done with this. Exactly.
Okay, very, very beautiful. All right. Okay, somebody saying, please, I made payment for Toomt Mastery class using direct bank transfer, but I've not been confirmed till now. Okay, sorry. I mean,
okay,
lately
send an email to support
yeah,
okay. Cycle. They will respond to you. Okay.
All right. So send them an email. They'll respond. I think lately those guys have been very busy, and then we're having so many URLs here, and I'm sorry I cannot really attend to all of them. Okay. So now let me just make this very quickly, so very snappy, so that we can actually shift over to Serverite. Now, the very first thing I want you to understand is link the server. Okay, I would like to use the World Study Portal as a case study in a particular situation. Okay, now since it is very, very random, at least you guys can see we actually got this particular URL live. So let's try to use it as a case study. The very first thing I want you to understand is, let me go back. I think my site is, my network is it Ahref or my network? All right. So let's try to use okay. All right. So the very first thing I want you to do is we want to start analyzing the backlinks of World Study Portal. Okay, I'll do it very snappy. Please listen. Whatever we are doing here might be in a hurry. The most detailed course on how to go about this step by step with practical proof and reviews, okay, is in the TUMT mastery course. It is not in this live course, okay? But however, if you pay very good attention to this, you can use exactly what you're about to see and apply it onto your website and get almost a very clean result. So now the very first thing is to come to the backlinks of the website. So I'll just go to backlinks. Let's see exactly what's going on with the backlinks of the website. Okay, now we actually have, as you can clearly see now, what you're seeing right here in this particular flank, okay, or this particular column, this column called referring pages, okay, is the backlinks, okay, that is pointing to the website. Okay, now to make this very, very snappy, I usually, when making my my link analysis, I often don't have so much issues with pages, with websites actually have traffic, because most of these bad links coming to your site, all these bad backlinks are often websites without traffic. In most cases, sites without traffic and UGC backlinks. I mean, all those comments that you're busy commenting on different websites looking for traffic up and down, all those low quality links are usually the issues. And then high traffic websites, I'm not referring to Web2 websites like Facebook, social media, and stuff like that. Basically, high traffic websites like normal, like BBC.com, Vanguard.com, hardly would they give you an option to comment with links. Okay, so number one thing I want you to write down is, when you're doing your link analysis, look out for those websites without traffic. And I'm going to show you very quickly. Now, first of all, you can see here domain traffic. That means these particular backlinks has traffic, has about 68,000 monthly visitors coming into this particular blog. This one has 75,000. This one has 46,000. Now, website with traffic usually don't have issues in most cases. This particular one has 412,000 monthly visitors. So now, case number one, I do not have any issues with all these blogs coming in with traffic. Now, where I am mostly interested in is, can you see this 10? This morning traffic actually come with 10. These are the websites you should be looking out for. Please take note of this. I am not by any way saying that sites without traffic are spammy. Okay? I'm not saying go and disavow all the sites without traffic, but I'm simply saying try to make a list of all those sites without traffic first. Start from there, because usually that's where all the problems come from. From our years of blogging and doing link analysis and doing site audits for clients, this is exactly where most of the issues often come from. And I'll tell you that in just a second. So the very first thing I am going to do right now is I am going to prioritize. Just click on, if you come to Ahrefs, can you see domain traffic? If you click on it, automatically it will prioritize. That means it will arrange it in order of traffic, either ascending order or descending order. So now, upon doing this, we can clearly see the very first thing is that we have, based on traffic weight, this is site with traffic 2 million, 200 million, and blah, 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 blah. Now, where I am looking forward to is, let me kind of like filter, okay? I'll come to traffic and then filter site with less than 1,000. Okay? I mean, site that has less than 1,000 monthly traffic. And when I click on that filter, Ahrefs will try to show all the backlinks that has been crawled that has less than 1,000. And then these are the list of the site. Looks like this guy has a lot of let's see how many backlinks this guy has. These guys have 2,000 backlinks, and that's a lot. Okay. Now, the very first thing that we've actually collected together is site with less than 1,000 page view. Okay. Now, unfortunately, these guys still have a lot of traffic because, lot of backlinks, because if you come down, you still see next. Okay. So keeping it very simple, I will start by saying site with less than 100 monthly page view. Okay. So let's start from 100, but we will fish out all the possible bad links in just a few minutes. All right. So now, what is the best way to discover bad? And now, okay, fine. These are all the possible links with no traffic. Some has 0, and now, okay, beautiful. The next thing I am going to do, or that you should do, is, now that you've collected all the website without traffic, okay, you want to export this particular backlinks. If you click on export, Ahrefs will give you an option to download all the backlinks pointing to the site that does not have traffic. Now, the reason why I am very careful with website that does not have traffic is this. Watch this. Bad links are usually directory links. I mean, people will go to directory website because they're very easy to create. They're free. Because nobody will buy hosting, buy domain only to create a spammy website. Usually, it does not often happen that way. Why you are having bad backlinks pointing to your site in most cases, those bad backlinks are often those free directory websites that are very easy to create. Just go there and create the site for free, and then people who actually hate you, or people who are trying to take down your website, your haters, your competitors, or who are trying to get you out of Google or make you having issues with Google, will go to this website at a very higher rate and start building, start creating those free backlinks for you, because those sites are very free to create. And usually one of the most common thing about this kind of website is that they often don't have traffic. So now that I have literally downloaded all of this site away, the next thing I want to do very quickly is you want to come here, and then point number 2, try to fish out all the directory websites. Wow, this is taking longer. In the next 5 minutes, I'll end this and then shift for Sabright to carry on. So now I would just simply exclude this. But the next thing I actually want to do after excluding that is I would use some free term. Okay, let me say some free term like, excuse me. Let me see if I can write things down here. Okay. All right. Some free terms like, let me delete this. All right. So some free term like, can I text? Can't I write text? Okay. All right. So I'm actually going to use word like website and then list. All right. So I will use this particular search filter to try to filter, because don't worry, you'll see it in just a moment. Website list. Let me hit enter in Ahref. Please, if you want more detailed course, it's in the 2 mastery course. All right. All right. So this particular guide does not have website list kind of link. So let me try website list. Okay. So obviously, particular site does not have those kind of filter. All right. Wait, let me see if I can get something right here and just write it better so you guys can see. All right, better, beautiful. So now the very first thing is, actually wrote this down somewhere. You can use filter like Blogspot. Okay. Blogspot directory, website list, and then let's start with, since the guy does not have website list kind of spam. Okay, so if you come here, you have to look for Blogspot and backlinks. Remove all the Blogspot links, because Blogspot is easy to create. It is free directory. People go there. Now, all of this Blogspot URL, if you notice, you won't see any traffic. This one actually have 900 traffic, which is the highest so far. Other ones are 0. All these backlinks does not add anything to your website. They only help to make your website lose its ranking. Be very careful of website without traffic. That's mostly where the major issue is. Now, can you see all these Blogspot link? Okay, so you would tell Google that you don't want any backlinks coming from Blogspot again to your website. And if the issue was from Blogspot link, automatically they will ignore the link juice or the link equity coming from that particular link. Now, and then you can actually see in this particular flank that no keyword has been indexed. All these backlinks are not indexed. They are not even indexed in Google. This particular part means index keyword. It is showing 0. All right. So what do you do next? You just come right here, and then you export this link also, because you actually want to export. Don't forget that we actually exported the first set of backlinks. Now we are just about to export the second set. Then after clicking on export, the next thing you also want to do is, the next keyword is directory. Okay, because all those directory backlinks will always come in their URL. They have a particular similarity that you will see the word directory. Now, if you click on the word directory, let's see. Okay, now we actually have a lot of directory links, but not really much. But if you notice something very, very common, they are not indexed. These are not non-indexed. non-index, you can clearly see not index 0, but they're giving you backlinks. If it is not even index, there is no point of the link. Okay, you can see free directory site, URL directory websites list. All of these, you don't need them. Okay, so you also want to export all these kind of links and then remove them from your website. And do we actually have more of this search filter that follows a particular pattern? Then another common one is backlinks. Another common one is you can also use the word web. Please take note, if you don't do this well, if you do this wrongly, you might go and disavow link that was responsible for your ranking. And if you remove those kind of backlinks, you will lose ranking. Okay, but the good news is that you can always go back and then change things up. Now, I just search for the particular search phrase called website, and then actually, in my opinion, I'll remove this site with traffic, because sites with traffic are always sometimes a little better. But all these sites without traffic, I will try to remove all of them. Sorry, I'm trying to export them. Can you see all these particular backlinks? These are usually where your issue is. Then you also export them. And then when you are done exporting all these backlinks, the next thing is, let me see, Google disavow Google disavow, is it link or something? Excuse me, let me try to see if I can get where you can upload it. Okay. All right, excuse me, domain property, link reports. All right, okay, yeah, exactly. Now you come to this particular page of the search console. Okay, can you see this? Disavow links to your site. Okay, now this is where you will tell, though I'll not upload that like right here. Okay, now you have to make a better analysis. There is a particular broader way that you can generally look at all those domains, but for the sake of the time and all of this stuff, we won't go into details now. But what happened is that you collect all those bad links and then put them together, and you disavow domain. In fact, there's a particular way you should do it. Usually there is domain, and then you put this, is it colon, and then paste the backlinks, arrange it in a particular format, which I can't show right now because of time, and then come to disavow list and tell Google, literally upload it here, and tell Google, listen, all these kind of backlinks coming to my site, I don't want these links anymore. What happened there is Google, usually after within 1 month to 3 months, you start seeing effect. But if your website still have very, very better crawl budget, like this particular site right now, which things just happened 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, if your site is still functioning at this particular rate, that means your crawl budget is not drastically bad. Okay, when you upload it on this kind of a website, usually within 1 month to 2 months, you see effect very fast. All right, if it was link penalty, your site will get back up to ranking. And in this guy's situation, I am suspecting link penalty. Then when you do the right link analysis of the audit, you upload all those links to Google, and after a couple of months, your site will drastically get back on point. So now that's one of the same method that we use to actually get back the site. Though there is more to this, and then I think that is that for now. Let me leave this now for Sabright to continue from there. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Harrison. Can everyone still hear me? Hello. Is everyone hearing me? All right. Fine. Harrison, is my screen shared? Can they see my screen? Hello, Harrison. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, they can see your screen.
Oh, okay, okay.
But your network looks very slow. Okay. Yeah, it is coming up now.
Okay, it's better now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks to Harrison. Harrison has explained, most of the things to do, like to disavow your links. I think he has covered almost everything here. I'll just add to this. So you can also use ACM Rush to disavow links. Just go to backlink audit. Okay, carry out a backlink audit analysis on your website. Usually this takes up to like 2 hours or so. Just create a project and then add your link there. And once you do that, you'll be able to have results like this. You just click on the link and then you get to see, the percentage of a toxic link on the website. Okay. So, and you can usually, these are the most toxic ones. This particular one, about how many percent, few percent or so. So you can, carry out a manual um, review on each of these URLs. Now, most of the time, SEMrush comes up with Web 2.0 links, like Web 2.0 links, like .blogspot.com, .quora.com, all those kind of websites. Exactly. So you might not really have all the details, but usually those ones also affect your website to a degree. So you download this particular list, toxic link that has toxicity score of 60 to 100. The ones that have potential toxic links, the ones from 45 to 59, these ones you have to like manually review them. Okay, if you are using SEMrush, you have to manually review them and make sure that it's related to your website to a degree, and also it has traffic. Traffic passes the highest level of equity in backlink. If you are getting domain backlink from a website that does not have any level of traffic, that website is not doing you any good. That's the good thing. That's the thing. So you want to get websites, want to get links from websites that have traffic. That's where the equity is passed to to your website. So I think Harrison has covered that. So quickly here, I'm going to share a sheet. You can add this to disavow list, and then on SEMrush to do that, just click on add to disavow and go to the disavow section, and then download the list. So we've had, for most of you guys that don't have access to SEMrush, I'm going to share a link where you get to see. Okay. All right. So Harrison, I've also explained something on Ahrefs. Let's say you've exported the bad links following his strategy and all of that. You can arrange those links on this spreadsheet, okay, on this Word document. Okay. So very simple. All you just have to do is the domain name and the and the link. The domain name and the link, you can do that manually, just the way it's arranged. Just replace it, domain, the toxic bad link, domain, toxic bad link, domain, toxic bad link. Though on Tuned Mastery, we've reviewed a lot of other things. We've talked about do follow and no follow link. How these things affect your ranking. How equity is passed from each of these links and all of that. So there is so much that we've covered on the course. And just to disavow your link, just follow this guide. Okay, and then when you are done, save this as txt. Okay, just file save as. Save as should be around here also. I think I missed it. Okay, maybe download. Yeah, download this as txt. So you want to plain text, ensure you save it as plain text. This is Google Doc document. If you have Notepad, you can arrange this on Notepad. Okay, but if you're using,
it's actually easier with Notepad. Just do all of these things through Notepad. Yeah.
For most of you that are using maybe Mac OS,
Let me share the format.
you can actually like use Google Word document, save it as txt file, download txt, and then follow. I think he has covered the whole thing, how to upload it. Go to Google, search Google disavow, Google link disavow. Just search that on Google, and then there's a reason why Google is not really okay, I think it's not ranking. Let me check. All right, okay, it's not ranking. So you can see that this is an advanced feature and should only be used with caution. If used incorrectly, this feature can potentially harm your website. So if you end up disavowing the right links on your website without carrying those careful analysis, there's a possibility that you will lose a lot of traffic. And if your website is already performing much better, instead of disavowing links, I would advise you probably try to learn more about link building, the right link building. You just have to be very careful with this particular practice because it has, the possibility of, affecting your website wrongly. So it's more of, that's why you see the warning here. So, but if your website is drastically hit by the algorithm update, which you can always see, like if you're using Ahrefs to analyze your website, data under overview 2.0. You can always see all of the recently released updates here. You can see them, they're aligned, they're also, if your website is coming down, you can just take your cursor to that particular update and check, okay, which particular update was I affected. I think this is a product based website. Okay, I think you sell pass. Okay, product based, yeah. So you, during this particular update, you were affected, and you can always like overthrow and then see the update that you just check where your graph is coming down, and then know the exact updates that affect that, so that okay, if it's content, helpful content, optimization, or probably is link, bad link building that you did, you can look into that as well, and then try to fix it. But the most important thing here is that when you are carrying out link when you're trying to disavow link, you have to be very extremely careful. Like, check those URLs, if possible, manually. Try to like ensure that either they are related to your website, to a degree, because also Google pass high level of link equity when it's coming from a relevant website, a relevant niche website. Usually, the best website to get backlinks from competing domains, like websites that are like your website, something that is related to your website, those kind of niches. So when you have link reference from a website that is outside the circumference of your website, there's a possibility that if you have more of such kind of link, it can affect your website. So you want to go for websites that are related to whatever project you are working on. That's more like an helpful tip for that. Then okay, so I'll share this particular link. I think let me do that now. You can copy it and then update, take time, and then use those tools. If you don't have access to Ahref, I think there's a platform, Toolsoft. You can go to the platform, maybe pay for their plan. I think $20 or $10 or so, and then you can probably also contact our agency. We can help you monitor and fix this for you as well. And then with time, your site will bounce up again. Let me update this link here. All right, so exactly. So that's how to do it. Let's look at the few questions and then round up the class. Someone asks, okay, someone asks, okay, I think most of the questions here have been attended to. Is there anyone that we've not covered? Is
Yeah,
there any question?
there is. What's wrong with your screen?
My
Subright.
screen, I can see you very well.
Okay, wait. I've actually changed. Okay. Somebody actually asked how they can increase scroll budget. But before then, now this is the sample on how you can disavow. I mean, how your disavow list should look like. This is I just copied this from one of the projects I was doing for a client. So this is exactly how it looks like. Okay, you have domain, then that particular toxic link. Please, usually like I said, the best method using tools to scrape these things is very risky. Okay, using SEMrush, like for instance, to allow SEMrush to suggest bad
Yeah,
backlinks for you is very risky. Okay, you can eventually go and remove quality links that would seriously impact your ranking. If you do not understand how to do this stuff, you can contact the tool mastery team. Sabright, your team is
yeah,
fully responsible. I mean, can handle this service, right?
yeah, definitely, definitely they can.
All
So
right. So if you do not know how to do this, safer option, you can contact the tool mastery team, to handle
now
the
right
whole
side
stuff
of
for you.
agency, the
But
agency can. We have people there that can help fix that.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. So now the only thing I actually want you to understand is that the suspect directories, those are bad websites. Directories usually site without traffic. Be very careful of sites without traffic. Having backlinks from site without traffic is very scary, because most of the time these sites are often not indexed. Okay, and these sites have been hit. In fact, link the server is even easier now compared to 5 years ago, because 5 years ago, bad website can still be having traffic. But in the SEO of today, Google is very, very serious with sites they don't like. Once they don't like you, they take down all your traffic. So one of the key metrics to know bad websites in SEO of today is to check their traffic history. usually you see them losing a lot of traffic, or they've not even had traffic at all, regardless of how many contents that they have. So now, but this is the format, okay? As you can clearly see, this is the format. Domain, is it hyphen or whatever? Domain hyphen, then the URL.
Just
Domain
the way.
hyphen URL. If you want to remove, as you can clearly see, there's no HTTPS here or HTTP. Okay, and then all I'm only doing, for instance, if the site was, let's say, HTTP MS, then let's say if it was like this, websites.com, just remove all of this, remove this slash, okay, just remove this operator, okay, and then leave it this way. Remove this as well, and then leave it this way. If it was link, like something like this, just leave it that way, okay? This is the highest format. And what happened there is that you submit the way it is. If you actually want traffic, if you actually still care about this particular, let's say for instance, you want this particular like you don't have any issues with this particular website because you trust the website, but just that you have issues with that particular page that is linking to you. So what you simply do is, instead of disavowing all of the domain, you just simply change here to URL, okay? Put your URL. Now, Google automatically will only remove this URL, but if you put domain, now what happens there is that they would remove all of the domain. Anything concerning the site does not have any effect on your website again. All right, and then don't forget that if you want to keep a simple note so that you can remember what you've done, always use hashtag. Okay, when Google actually see this, they will omit it. This is the only thing that they want. If they see this domain and then your website URL, they will automatically, as you can clearly see, this particular guy had so many bad backlinks. I had to disavow all of them, and then the site came right back up very quickly. So that's actually what I want you to understand. And then one last question: how can I increase crawl budget? All right, crawl budget of a website sometimes goes down when you've had issues with Google, but how can you increase it? Usually, as you're gaining ranking on search engine, your crawl budget actually becomes better. As you're beginning to have quality backlinks pointing to your site, you have very good backlinks pointing to your site, and your site authority and your trust score keeps getting better in the eyes of Google, your crawl budget start getting better. How do you know that your website crawl budget is better? The very simple way to know is when you publish content, usually within 24 hours, the content gets indexed. If you're very good crawl budget, if your site have a very good crawl budget, you publish now, a few minutes later, it is indexed. But if you have issues with your crawl budget, you publish now, you have to wait for a very long time, and then almost forever before you actually get indexed. So I think that's all for now. Let's get over from there. All right.
Okay. Okay, that's a great one from Harrison. And someone asked how to fix, I think, multiple tax issues. Okay.
Well, is it possible? Yeah. Have you checked the time, Sabright? We're actually
Wow.
out of time, so it's not possible here anymore.
Okay, we can't really answer a lot of most of these questions, but maybe I might make video on YouTube about them. There are a
Talk
lot of
about
it's actually a very broad topic. There are a lot of things that we can always talk about, and okay, I really appreciate everyone that made it here. Okay,
yeah. Okay,
that was
very simple question. Watch this. Somebody saying you talked about duplicate content. What about a situation where you're trying to grow your topical authority and end up ranking for similar keywords? Is that a duplicate content? Okay, well, there's a very clear difference between duplicate content and keyword cannibalism. Now, I actually want you to actually understand something. As your site is growing, from one content to 2,000 content or 500 content, there's a very high tendency for duplicate content, okay? Because you might have forgotten that you've written on that before, and then you still give back that particular keyword to your team, and they write it. So there's a very huge tendency for that. You just have to be careful. I would have loved to show how to use Ahrefs, to spot out duplicate content, but in this particular question and the time that we actually have, let me answer this keyword cannibalism, because if you're ranking for instance, they search a particular keyword on search engine and your two sites is appearing on SERP, like your site appearing 2 times on search results, okay, and those two contents all look very similar. When you see a case like that, that is called keyword cannibalism. Google frowns on that. They hate it. The very simple way to do is, if you're very certain that you love what's actually going on there, just simply do a 301 redirect of one of the contents onto the other one, okay, Google will automatically take one as their scale of preference. But be careful for keyword cannibalism. Having it too much on your website can, drastically affect your ranking. And the same thing with duplicate content. All right.
Okay. Okay, someone is asking for a YouTube name. Bright Cycle Education. You can just search that on YouTube, you'll get it. And then
Okay.
must just follow the guideline for the disavow link sheet. Follow the sheet is I think is accessible to everybody here. So you just click on that link. Harrison has explained that already, and basically everything here has been covered. Almost all the necessary things have been covered. What's the most effective way to tackling multiple broken? I think we've answered that already, right? The most effective way of tackling multiple broken links. Okay, there are plugins that could actually fix this for you. You can also do it manually. Okay, there are a list of them. You can just like carry out this search on Google, and then you get to see plugins that can, identify, broken links. You can use Screaming Frog. You can get their premium. I think it's about 100 and something dollar for a year. You can analyze a lot of, site-wide, you can carry out site-wide analysis, and then get to discover most of those things and then fix them. So most of these things you have to do them manually, like the outbound broken links. Outbound broken links, it happens to a lot of websites. It's, almost all the websites that have more than 200 content have outbound broken links. So you can always fix that manually. I've not seen a plugin that could do that, really internally. It's manually actually, because a lot of sites, a lot of websites are facing that. And of course, we've also discussed on Dooms Mastery on how you can use that, you can leverage on that particular opportunity for link building and all of that. So there are a lot of things we've covered. But I think that will be all for now, right? We'll be ending the live right now.
Okay, and somebody was asking how they can sign in, how they can join Ahrefs for free. I will. Okay, Harrison, who is saying, Harrison, must you add the domain and the hashtag in the URL disavow? You must not add the hashtag. The hashtag is to help you understand. Well, let me show you very quickly. Please don't make mistake with this, okay? Though if you want a very detailed, I think Sabright, okay. Anyway, I think Sabright actually have a very detailed concept on that, and he told me he might share that for free. Now watch this. This particular hashtag is not necessary, okay? As you can see, exported from backlink to domains, okay? This is for me trying to understand, because if you do a lot of link disavow, you might get confused sometimes trying to check back this file, okay? Now you can just leave a very simple note here. This is me trying to leave a note to help me understand. I did this on live, okay? I did this on live, okay? It's just to help me understand. But have you seen this? When you add the hashtag, automatically Google will automatically ignore this, okay? They ignore this. What they want is they want this particular operator URL or this or domain. This is the only thing that they understand. These two things is the only thing they understand. URL / whatever link that you have, okay? Excuse me, let me try to copy this.
Colon, not slash, colon, yeah.
Sorry, URL colon whatever link that you have, or domain whatever link that you have. In my opinion, if you don't trust the website at all, always use domain, okay? Always use domain. But if the only issue you have is with that particular page pointing to you, let me give you an example. Let's say a website like Vanguard.com give you backlinks, but that particular page that you're having backlink from, there is no content there, and you have over 70,000 comments of different web people commenting their blog links. So for some reason, you don't really like that particular page giving you backlinks. You don't trust that page, all right? But you don't have any issues with Vanguard website, but just that page, you don't trust it. So what happened there is, in that case, simply use URL. Google will only remove that URL if it was linking to you. But if you don't want any link coming from Vanguard in its entirety, just simply use domain. Okay, I just believe that's very simple enough. And then this is the most important thing. And don't keep any space. Just make it close, and always use Notepad. When you're done with your Notepad, hit save and upload to Google, because Notepad by default save it in a TXT format. Okay, so I believe that is all for that. There's so many questions, we cannot attend to all of them because this is already 2 hours, and I think this is exactly 2 hours. So
Yeah,
that's all. All right.
Okay, that's all for now. Okay. Everyone should have a nice time. Good night.
All right.